Hey guys, what's up and welcome to a new Tesla update video. So today, as usual, let's go over the market, go over Tesla, go over what has happened. Jerome Powell did testify today. I'll be honest, I didn't really watch it too much. I probably should have, but I didn't watch it too much. Usually it's not anything too crazy. It just reiterates what he usually reiterates. So I'm sure it's nothing we haven't heard before anyways. But nonetheless, the market, of course, evidently responding to it clearly, pretty negatively, right? Essentially, from what I understood, TLDR is that there's, a higher chance than previously thought of, not only potentially higher, but continued rate hikes, which of course is not great for the market. Surprisingly, tech actually outperformed, the general indice like SPY, for instance, which is unusual to me. I would think that would be the opposite, if anything, but, it is what it is. But nonetheless, Tesla is ending the day down about 3.2%, which is putting us at about 187.67 cents. So as usual, jumping into it, again, this is not financial advice. Make your own decisions, do your own research, and if you enjoy, find the video useful, helpful, informative, whatever, don't forget to hit that like button. So what does this mean, right? So, we talked about this, right? Yesterday I mentioned how, at the very least, like at the minimum, I would have expected Tesla to, gap fill this 190-ish level, which, clearly it did that and then some, right? And we also did talk about how my major key level that I'm really paying attention to defend, at least for the bulls, is pretty much exactly where we bounced, right? We came down exactly to the same level that I talked about the other day, right? How this is a very crucial level, and once this level right here cracks, which so far it's not, but it's getting damn close, man. It's getting damn close. It's not looking good, right? We are slowly on the 1 hour at least making, a very minor bullish divergence. You can see right here, right, as the stock, as this candle over here closed lower than this candle over here. Actually, no, not really. No, never mind. I would actually argue that this is not, maybe very slightly, but man, it's really pushing it. So I don't know. I'm just trying to find any hope for bulls here right now. And man, there's not that much. I mean, the only hope is the fact that we did get a pretty, respectable bounce off on this candle in the first hour of trading from this very crucial level, like I talked about at this 185, 186 level, right? This general level, and so far so good. And we came up. The thing that's not good, though, the thing that's bad for the bulls, and arguably potentially really good for the bears, is the fact that so we came up, we did do this gap fill, right? Obviously, we still have a gap up here, for instance. Probably have another gap up here somewhere. No, we have no other gap up here. Looks like I know we have gaps like way above somewhere up here, like for instance this one up here. But we came up to the gap from essentially this morning. And we pretty much almost exactly filled it. And then we got like a pretty hard rejection from it. So that's just, that's not good for the bulls. That's not what the bulls want to see, because this is pretty bearish, right? The fact that we got this rejection on the gap fill and then we continued down and essentially closed at almost the lows of the day. Not a lot of strength, clearly, for the bulls. Right? They're definitely running out of steam. So that's not what you want to be seeing, right? And again, the main thing I'm still paying attention to is essentially this level right here cracking, this kind of 186, 187, that general kind of level. I'm definitely looking at that level to be cracked. Right now, also the thing that's not great is the fact that if you look at the daily, you can see this is the first time that we actually closed the candle in this range, right? Other than from this initial run up, but after this run up and after we started starting this congestion period, if you will, where we kind of just went sideways, more or less like zigzagging up and down, but within the same kind of vicinity, right? Being between this, 215-ish level all the way down to as low as arguably even, this 185 to 190 level. This is the first time that we really closed. I guess you can argue this candle right here, this was kind of a potential, bad candle because it did close at 190, but it was 190, right? It did close in 190. This is the first time since this congestion period that we have closed below 190. So that right there is not great. But like I said, on this candle, and like I'm saying today as well, and like I even said yesterday, right? The bulls still have a chance. Like there's still a chance. There is still absolutely a chance, and this level is that chance. Which so far they're showing it. They're showing up when it counts. But man, it's truly some seriously thin ice over here. So yeah, I'm seriously paying attention to this right now. And if this level ever breaks and we really start getting the candle kind of enter this box in this territory, it's most likely going to come down at the very least to like 180, right? It will come down from this 185-ish level pretty much straight down to 180, and most likely will happen. And there's a chance that we get a bit of a bounce there. There's a chance that we kind of consolidate a little bit here. But if we lose 180, that to me is really that's pretty much game over, at least for the kind of short to potentially medium-ish term for the bulls. And that's where the bears really start to celebrate, and that's most likely when we come down to my ultimate price target level that I talked about, which of course is going to be that Fibonacci retracement, which is a pretty simple one. I'm going to do a very rough example here, but to give you a rough idea, but essentially it'll come down to the 0.5 to the 0.618, but around the 160 to 145-ish level, which of course was perfectly coinciding with the gap fill all the way down here, right? That would be my major price target for Tesla in all honesty, not if, but more of when it loses this area. I still strongly believe that it will lose this area at some point. It doesn't mean it has to happen like right here, right now, like tomorrow, or even this week. It can, absolutely can. Doesn't mean it has to. But I do believe that whether it's this week, whether it's next week, whether it's in 2 weeks, I do believe it will happen at some point. On the daily, you can also see the RSI just not looking very hot, right? Just constantly just pointing straight down, just completely collapsing, just below 50 now, making, the bearish divergence is still playing out, and it's just, man, it's not looking all that hot, right? It's definitely showing some serious signs of weakness, and there's really nothing to write home about here, really nothing at all. So that's the major things that I am personally looking out for, ladies and gentlemen, right? So just keep that in mind. Again, major thing is this 185 level. If this breaks, we're pretty much going straight down to 180, which is all the way down here. And if this breaks, then that's when the real move does come down, in my opinion, to probably 160 at the very least, if not 145. Again, it doesn't mean it has to happen instantly, but most likely it will come down to somewhere that level, over a course of X amount of time, which that's the most unknown factor to me, the timing. That's the hardest part, right? Also, taking a look at the Bollinger Band, you can see it's starting to slowly spread apart. So it seems like the big move is on its way, right? It seems like this might be the start. There's a chance that we still get this. I still think there's a chance we get a bit of a bounce here. It's not impossible, potentially get a small bounce here. I don't think it'll be a big bounce, and if it's it'll be a pretty small bounce. In all honesty, if we do get one, I don't think it'll be anything to write home about. Maybe back to the 190s just barely, but ultimately, I do believe that we are still once again brewing up and starting this move down. And once the Bollinger start to expand, which will happen, of course, as that move down happens itself. That's when we're probably going to come down, zigzag our way, somewhere down here, let's say, whatever, something like this. And then most likely, kind of do this typical, thing where we kind of go sideways for a while, make large moves up and down, and then slowly get tighter and tighter as the Bollinger Bands catch up to us. And, we kind of do our thing from there. And then hopefully, again, this is a bullish thesis, but hopefully if this area holds, which I think it will, but assuming it does, that's going to be fantastic for the bulls. And I do believe that this is going to be a beautiful place to reverse at. Again, you never know though, right? Back when this move happened over here, this move completely caught me off guard. Especially this one. What really caught me off guard was this move down here. Like, this was just something else, man, truly. So that's the thing with Tesla stock. You never really know for sure, because sometimes you'll get these kind of moves. Now, granted, this was during some extremely bearish Tesla, news and Elon selling, and it was just Twitter hangover, and just, man, it was just really bad. But man, this move truly caught me off guard. Like, this one absolutely got me. I got trapped pretty hard in this move because this was just extremely unexpected. But the point is the fact that Tesla can do these moves sometimes. It is an exceptionally volatile stock for such a large mega cap stock, essentially, right? So you have to keep that in mind. So sometimes it can do things that are unexpected, especially given the circumstances that the market is potentially. And you can see it did recover, is coming back down. Pretty bearish looking candle here. This is like I keep forgetting the name, man. It's essentially a reverse hammer. There's another name for it. It's like a, forgot the name entirely, but another thing they want to look out for is this formation as a shooting star, or it's also another bearish formation. So this is like a double bearish formation on the indices. Not looking too hot, I'll be completely honest with you guys. So I can't imagine that helping Tesla whatsoever. So we'll see where this takes us. Right? We can see the 50-day moving average is still well below us, sitting at pretty much this 160-ish level. So, I would pretty much expect it to come down to this, if not potentially even lower. And that is essentially more or less what I am currently thinking. So let me know what you guys think down below. The volume is, more or less in line. I mean, it is slowly descending. And one major thing to note, and we did talk about this once or twice before, maybe I should have brought it up more, I guess, but how on this volume, on this ascending, like, pretty much as Tesla was going up right here, and even as it was going sideways, the volume was slowly decreasing, and not just very obviously, not just like straight up down, but kind of slowly trending down. You can see, right, very slowly trending its way downwards as Tesla was essentially still kind of going up, if not sideways. So nothing really to write home about there either. But that's not always a bad thing, right? That's not always a bad thing. It's pretty common for it to actually the volume to go down during consolidation. That's not uncommon because it's kind of what it is. It's consolidation. It's just kind of you're just kind of honestly chilling, for lack of a better word. So it's not really uncommon for that to happen. So that's why I didn't really say it too much. It's not like completely something crazy. But it was going down, and that is something still to consider, though I wouldn't put too much weight into what it could possibly mean, especially saying that, the volume is going down, that means it has to be bearish. Not necessarily. It could be it's maybe arguably more bearish than bullish, but it's not like a true deciding factor when you're doing something like a consolidation phase, right? So that's just the way I personally view it, and that's mainly why I didn't bring it up too much, right? On top of that, we can also see the VIX is just barely hanging on. The VIX is looking pretty weird, man. I'm not gonna lie. The VIX is looking kind of sussy, so we'll see where that takes us as well. But ultimately, looking at the market, looking at Tesla, the market did gap fill. You can see it's 5 here, and it did hold. But overall, this pattern right here, not a very bullish looking pattern. And again, I don't think that'll help Tesla, and Tesla's looking, arguably pretty damn bearish so far right now. But again, as long as this 185 to even potentially as low as this 180 level holds, bulls still have a chance, man. The bulls still have a chance, and I am selling puts into this, weakness at the moment. Again, I still have a lot more puts to sell because I do expect it to go down. But just in case, we end up, getting an actual rally from here, or a little bit of a bounce, or at least some more consolidation, those sold puts, which is a bullish position, will do very, very well. If not, I'm perfectly okay to slowly start accumulating and continue selling puts on the way down. And the next level I'll personally be waiting for in order to sell another put would be pretty much this 180-ish, 177 level. If we do get there, which I think we will, I will be selling another puts, and then if we continue going down, I will be continuing to sell more and more puts, right? That's just my strategy. That's how I like to trade. That's what I like to do. And I'm also using this as a way to enter Tesla shares once again, because like I said, I have been pretty much all cash for about a week and a half now or something like that. But yeah, that's it. That's kind of what I'm seeing. So let me know what you guys think down below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button, and I'll see you guys for the update tomorrow. Peace.